welcome to this live stream on this very warm summer day. Oh boy. And here we are. Hello, everybody. Got my head shaved today. That'll keep me cool. It's very shiny, isn't it? With all the lights. So, how is everybody doing today? Oh, this always happens. Hello, Hank. Glad you could make it from the start. Hello, Inge. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Tanvir. The most loyal people in my chat. Yeah, um, it was actually James Vowles' birthday yesterday, and it was a pretty slow news week. So I I checked a few news pages, and then I saw that James Vowles um, signed a new contract to extend his stay, and I think that's good news because he's doing a really good job at Willliams, and I like him. He's a good guy. So I prepared something, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Like if I'm done with my content, then maybe we can chat about a few other things, or maybe I'll quit 15 minutes earlier. You know, I'm sure people have stuff to do outside as well. So Hank is not doing anything with the planes today. Okay. Well, congratulations, Tanvir, with your younger brother. Did you have a party? It was James Fowles' birthday yesterday. So I'm just gonna wait a couple more minutes before I start with my content. See if Polish Eddie will drop in or some of my other subscribers. But yeah, it could be a slow stream with with this nice weather, middle of the summer. You know, a lot of people having barbecues or coming back from the beach. You want to know how old James Vowles is? Let me check that. He was born on the June 20th in 1979. So he's 2 years younger than me, which would make him 46. 46. Yeah. Hey, Aoife. You discovered the bell icon. Oh, that's brilliant. You're never going to miss a video of mine again for your sins. So I recorded a video today about Lewis Hamilton being a disruptor in all the teams that he joined. So, hey Vegas, James has made Williams competitive. Well, um, yeah, they were in a very poor state a while ago. Eddie's running after his chickens, says Inga. Could be, but he might pop in. Okay, it's 5 minutes past 8 here. I'm gonna start with my content. I made a slideshow, just like in school, and this is actually not the first one. Okay. So, James Vowles, born on the 20th of June in 1979. Um, he was born in the UK, but he grew up in Switzerland. Um, he became fluent in French, and he attended an international school in Geneva. He graduated in 1997 with an international. This is a very very strange word. Baccalaureate. Baccalaureate. Am I pronouncing that right? Baccalaureate. Um, his academic path led to a computer science degree from the University of East Anglia in 2000. He tried breaking into the Formula One business by applying to teams, hoping to leverage his mathematical skills. But unfortunately, he faced a lot of rejections because teams wanted engineers over mathematicians. But he didn't give up, and he pursued a master's in motorsport engineering and management at the Cranfield University in 2001, and that's where his talent was shining. He won the Pro Drive Award for Excellence for designing a car for the Jim Russell Racing School, and that caught the eyes of Formula One teams, and it landed him multiple job offers. So that was pretty much how James Vowles got into F1. Now you'd think that with him being fluent in French, he'd end up at Renault or, Alpine or something. But yeah, as we see later in the stream, he ended up with mainly British teams, which is okay too. Let me see if the chat has said anything. Oh, there's a new name. Hello, Michael Fearman. Can you state where you're from? Because I'm not saying I'm curious, but we just like to know everything. Hey, there's Richard. Hello, Gentiles. And Mihai. I haven't seen you in ages, Mr. Mihai. Mihai Grigorescu. It's nice to see you all back. Oh, I didn't know that Total Wolf spoke French. I did see a video once of Alain Prost speaking English to Frank Williams, and Frank Williams was speaking French to him. That was odd. Talking about Williams. But then again, Samantha is from Northern Ireland and she lives here in Holland, and a lot of people speak English to her when she's speaking Dutch. So, Tanvir Mihai is from Romania. It's okay, Mihai. You can always drop in whenever you have time. I hope you caught up on my videos, though. That's more important. Okay, let's go to the next chapter of what I prepared. Oh, wait. Hank Ormel says, James built on the foundations George Capito founded. Yes, well, we'll get there later. Because the picture I have here, I need to go back. See, this is a young James Vowles at the Mercedes Petronas F1 team. And look at those ears. Right. So, oh no, I still got the wrong picture. Oh, I'm such a clutch. Yes. No. I spoiled all the pictures now. Yes. This is him at Bar. Yes. Vowles' F1 career kicked off in 2001 with British American Racing, BAR. His timing was perfect as he stayed with the team through his evolutions into Honda, Braun GP, and Mercedes. His strategic mind emerged early, notably as chief strategist for Braun GP's 2009 championship winning season, orchestrating race strategies for Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello. This role cemented his reputation as a sharp tactician. Over two, over 2 decades, he worked with legends like Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher, Lewis Hamilton, and Nico Rosberg, contributing to 9 Constructors' Championships and over 120 races. His side hustle? He's a racer himself, competing in GT4 and GT3 events, and even driving a historic Williams FW08 at Goodwood. So I saw the documentary on Disney Plus with Keanu Reeves about Braun GP, called Braun GP, and indeed, young James Vowles was involved there as well, and he got quite a bit of screen time in the documentary as well. So yeah, he's won a few prizes even before Mercedes started winning prizes because yeah, with Braun GP, he won 2 championships. Well, the constructors and the drivers title. Um. So Richard hasn't ever heard Toto Wolff speak German. Well, he speaks Austrian. No, I've heard him speak German on Sky Germany. He has a very low voice in Austrian, like Arnold. Um. Okay, Mihai, you've watched all my videos. Good man. Are you ear shaming? Says Inge. I can't ear shame anybody. I've got tiny little Spock ears. Yeah, Tanveer. Apparently he's a racer in GT4 and GT3. So yeah, Vegas knows him from historic races as well. Yeah, they'll put anybody in a car at Goodwood. That's a place I still want to go. Is the volume a little low? I hope this is better. Yeah, this should be better. See, I put it aside all the time to, to do stuff, and then the volume goes down. Okay, so let's go to the next chapter. So this is him at BAR. This is him with Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Oh no, this is too soon. Okay. Okay. Um Now we're going to talk about his time at Mercedes. At Mercedes, Vowles was a cornerstone of their dominance from 2014 to 2021, helping secure 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships and 7 driver titles. Starting as chief strategist, he was promoted to Motorsport Strategy Director in 2019, overseeing race strategy, performance and analysis, and simulations. His calm, data-driven approach made him a key figure, and his radio calls, especially the meme-worthy "Valtteri, it's James" to Bottas, became iconic. He was seen as a potential successor to Toto Wolff, But after 21 years at the Brackley-based outfit, he felt too uncomfortable and sought. Oh, he felt too comfortable and sought a new challenge. Yeah, it's quite impressive what James Vowles has done at Mercedes. Not gonna lie, and I suppose it was not always easy to make the strategies for Lewis Hamilton and about Valtteri Bottas, because Bottas, yeah, he preferred not to move aside for um, Lewis Hamilton. I remember in 2021, James Vowles came over the radio to abort the fastest lap because they wanted Lewis Hamilton to set the fastest lap. And Bottas went along and set the two first sectors in purple, and then he dropped off in the last sector just to fuck with them. that was funny. And I'm sure he was there as well when the Silver War was going on. So yeah, it wasn't all easy sailing. But yeah, I've never really heard a bad word about James Vowles. So yeah, impressive career at Mercedes. Let me see what the chat's saying. Mm-mm. So is the sound now better? Because I honestly don't know what I can do about it now. I see all the decibels here moving quite rightly. And when I recorded the video, I didn't feel the volume was low. I put it up here a lot more. Hello, hello. It honestly should be okay. Gentili says yes. Okay. It's fine. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, honey. Samantha loved Bottas. Okay. I also have the fan on, so it might be a little noisy. Okie dokie. Right. I don't see any reactions about what I just shared about James Vowles, so I'm just gonna go to the next little chapter. His move to Williams. In January 2023, Vowles left Mercedes to become Williams' team principal, replacing Jost Capito. He joined the team with a glorious past, 9 constructors and 7 drivers' titles, but struggling in the midfield for over a decade. Tasked by owners Dorotol Capital to revive Williams, Vowles embraced the challenge, calling it an opportunity of a lifetime. He overhauled infrastructure, processes, and culture, emphasizing long-term growth over short-term gains. His bold moves include signing Carlos Sainz for 2025, pairing him with Alex Albon to form a strong driver lineup. Under Vowles, Williams have climbed to 5th in the 2025 Constructors' Championship with 55 points, more than the last 3 seasons combined, marking their best start since 2016. And the picture that goes with this is this. Yeah, there he is with Logan Sargent and Alex Albon. So this is when he just started for Williams. Yeah, James Vowles was responsible for moving Williams from spreadsheets to a normal software program to keep an eye on all the stuff that they had in stock, you know. And yeah, it was unbelievable that a Formula One team didn't have the proper software in place in the first place. But it made them almost late for testing, not last year, but I think the year before that. But they made it into testing on time, and yeah, from then onwards, the 2023 car, no, the 2024 car had a lot of peaks because from what I gathered, the straight line speed was very high, but it struggled at certain other tracks. But yeah, they did really well at Monza, I think, and yeah, a couple of high speed tracks. They scored good points. But the car's been a lot better this season, and they started scoring points at nearly all the tracks. Um, Carlos Sainz is still a little bit underwhelming, but Alex Albon is doing a hell of a job. So yeah, interesting stuff. Let me see what the chat's saying. Hank wants to know what I think about Samantha liking Bottas. I don't mind. She likes Alonso even more. So I like all the goofies: Ricciardo, Bottas, Alonso, and Wimbo. Yeah. Inge says that she loved the signing saga in Drive to Survive. Yeah, that was interesting. But I still need to rewatch it with Samantha. But we didn't feel like it. Oh, we don't have Netflix anymore. Too expensive. Yeah, Tanveer says 2025 for Williams is looking very good. Gentili says they also finally binned their fax machine. Well, that's a good thing because a fax machine can get you into trouble. Ask McLaren. Upgrade from spreadsheet was really good. Yeah. The 23 Williams was very slippery indeed in the straight line. Yeah, and Carlos is falling behind now. It's true. That's true, Aoife. I paid Netflix long enough so I can sort out an alternative way to rewatch Drive to Survive. I agree. Okay, well, we're going through the content very quickly here, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be an hour all the time. Okay, so the next bit is. New contract with Willliams. On June 19th, 2025, Williams announced Vowles signed a long-term contract extension, though the exact length remains undisclosed. This move signals confidence in his vision to return Williams to championship contention. Vowles expressed his delight, saying the team felt like home, and reiterated his ambition to win world championships again. Doralton Capital's chairman, Matthew Savage, praised Vowles' experience, energy, and strategic leadership. The contract underscores Williams' commitment to his long-term plan, especially with the 2026 regulations looming. Yeah, there he is, staring in the distance. He's looking into the future, a future that is looking bright for Williams and James Vowles. I could easily see him become one of the longest sitting team principals at Williams because he keeps making progress, and that's what the investors want to see, and yeah, it's very hard to be successful in Formula One. Look at how many years it took McLaren to start dominating, and yeah, so this could happen to Williams as well. there once was a time where Mercedes didn't give away the best engines; they kept them themselves. But yeah, it looks like they've been giving McLaren very strong engines because McLaren hasn't DNF'd once with their Mercedes engines. Um, but maybe that has something to do with the cooling as well. Um, the Williams cars have the DNF'd a few times, which is yeah, a pity. So yeah, no, it was pretty much a no brainer to extend um, James Vowles' contract. You know, like the man has done nothing but good stuff for Williams, and yeah, it was quite obvious, but still, you know, I just want to give him his flowers here on my YouTube channel. Let me see what the chat's saying. Inge says it's too hot to be indoors. I agree. And Tanvir is in India, where it's even warmer. Richard wants to know if isn't it incredibly hot in the attic? Yes, but I've got a fan here. You know. I was looking for a new fan, and then I found a company called Only Fans, but they didn't sell any. And Hank says race winning contention as first goal and champions winning contention as final goals. Yeah, that makes sense. Time for a tropa roaster. Don't know the English word for that, sorry. It's a Troopen rooster, yes? No, I don't know. You need to ask Samantha. I don't think the kids in the UK ever get time off from school, even when it's snowing. And Hank says he has to beat Frank Williams, though. Yeah. That's going to be a long haul then for him. Gentili says Williams certainly has potential. Mercedes engine is always good. Tactics are good now with Vowles. Now the aerodynamics, etc. Tanvir says, I mean, McLaren is the only team not to DNF with Mercedes engines. Yeah, that's probably because they have really good cooling. A fan with a fan. Yes. Hank says, so far the Mercedes engine is good. The V8 engine wasn't that reliable though. Yeah, but that's 20 years ago. God, when did they race with V8 engines? Long time ago. Okay, I have one more chapter. Yeah. And in this chapter, we look forward to the 2026 Formula One regulations and Williams' outlook. The 2026 F1 season introduces sweeping changes: lighter, smaller cars, simplified hybrid power units with a near equal split between electric and combustion power, and increased use of sustainable fuels. Active aerodynamics will allow drivers to switch between high downforce and low drag modes, aiming to boost overtaking. These rules reset the competitive order, offering midfield teams like Williams a chance to close the gap. Vowles has strategically shifted Williams' focus to 2026 development, halting 2025 car updates early to maximize resources. Their Mercedes power unit, considered a benchmark, an extra wind tunnel CFD time from their 2024 8th place finish give them an edge. George Russell even suggested Williams could be a frontrunner in 2026, though Vowles remains cautious, citing the dominance of top teams like McLaren. He views 2024 and 2025 as stepping stones, with 2028 and 2029 as realistic targets for major leaps, drawing parallels to McLaren's gradual resurgence. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That Williams is not going to be boom there next season, um, but with a better understanding of the new regulations, they can probably continue their trajectory upwards until they start, winning races and titles in 28 and 2029. And then in 2030, we'll have new regulations again. Um, I was also quite surprised that they just stopped the development of the 2025 car. But I do get it. They're at a good level now. And, Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz can still score points for a while. You need to look at the teams around them. Are they going to be pushing hard with new upgrades? So it could be that they'll stay this competitive for the rest of the season, and then they'll end up with 100 points or more. Yeah. George Russell saying that Williams could be a contender. Yeah. Everything that George Russell says, you need to take with a pinch of salt. He just loves to hear himself talk a little bit too much. So let me see what the chat's been saying. Ang says prior to 2014 was V8. Okay. And at least 5 or 6 DNFs until now for Mercedes power unit. 3 Williams and 3 Mercedes. Yeah, could be. Inge says, do you really think Williams will be a serious contender in 2028, 2029? It's hard to say, like, we're just before a new regulation now, and you hear a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype around Mercedes because they're going to have the best power unit. There's a lot of hype about McLaren because they're going to have the Mercedes power unit and they have a great car. And a lot of, the people that built the car they have now will build the 2026 car as well. People like Rob Marshall. So McLaren's going to be really good. Then Red Bull, they have a new wind tunnel and they have the Red Bull powertrains. And most likely they'll have Max. So they're going to be really good in 2026. And then Ferrari, because Lewis Hamilton is there, it's going to be Ferrari's year in 2026. Just like every year. So they're going to be really good. Then Aston Martin, they have a new wind tunnel that they just started using. And they have Adrian Newey. And they have Lance Stroll. And Papa Stroll's money. So they're going to be really good. So that's 5 teams already that are going to be awesome in the new regulations. And then Williams is going to be good. Flavio Briatore says that, Alpine is going to be Alpine is going to be fighting for titles in 27, 28. And they also have a Mercedes engine. So what does that leave? It leaves Haas. It leaves Racing Bulls and Cadillac. So there's going to be 3 teams. They're going to be the worst. And the rest of them are all going to fight for the drivers' titles and the constructors' titles for the next 5 years. So it's going to be tight as well. And then it's also possible that there's going to be one team and they knock the new aero regulations out of the park and they'll have a good engine and they're going to be winning. So it's hard to say. Eva says Audi will have the best power unit next year. Mark my words. Okay, well, they've been they've been sort of talking down their expectations about the 2026 regulations. Mattia Binotto and his team. So I'm I'd be quite surprised if Audi is really fast. But yeah, I'll try to remember. Um, Hank says 2028 is fairly early to be a contender already. It took McLaren 8 to 9 years. Yeah, true. Well, actually, it didn't take him that long. It just ever since Rob Marshall was hired, they started building their way up. Um, Hank, that's not right. The wind tunnel is ready. Let me see. I'm gonna Google this. Yes, Red Bull F1 wind tunnel. It's gonna be finished in 2026. And the first car that they're gonna be developing with the new wind tunnel is the one for 2027. So the wind tunnel is ready, but it won't have an effect on the 2026 car. It will have an effect on the 2027 car. Tanveer says, I think Honda nails the engine. Alonso might have a chance in the championship. Yeah, of course, he's still good enough. So that was all my Williams content, or my James Vowles content. I'll keep talking for about 8 minutes, and then it'll be a 45-minute live stream, and you guys can enjoy the warm weather, have a barbecue. Eva says, keeping expectation low is the oldest trick in the book. Okay, yeah, I don't really see the point in saying that, the regulations are hard and you're not expecting much of it. And yeah, let me see what Binotto has said about Mattia Binotto about Audi power unit. Okay, here in Motorsport, Audi admits it won't have the best F1 engine in 2026. Audi F1 lead Mattia Binotto says he's confident in the outfit's engine program, but warns the 2026 rules could kickstart a period of dominance for another team. And this is what he said about it. Making power units, I know this well because I was an engine engineer, is much more complex and complicated than one might imagine watching races as a spectator. Now, however, we are entering something extremely advanced that has never been done. Therefore, we will find higher level of difficulty even though the starting point is always an engine. We will have to change the culture of the engine, and it will not be easy. So yeah, this is what Mattia Binotto said himself. But he could be sandbagging, as we like to call it. Whatever Audi is cooking up, you can be sure their buddies in Weissach will have their magic wand over it. Okay. And then Tanveer says, I'm sure Nui will nail the aero, just Honda needs to nail the engine. And then Hank says, I think Mercedes and Ferrari will be the favorites for the best engine. Red Bull, Ford, and Honda close, and Audi on a distance. But I love how the opinions differ so much. I'm definitely gonna do a video about it at some point. Manji Share wants to know what's my favorite Indian dish. Um, well, when I was still drinking alcohol, I really liked spicy stuff, so I always had a jai frazee. But that's too spicy for me now because I don't drink anymore. But Samantha might know what I always pick. Something called Bota or something. But yeah, that's not Formula One related. That's food related. I like food though. Oh. Yeah. So keep an eye out for my new video. Hopefully I'll finish editing it tomorrow. And it's a long one. It's going to be about a video about 13 minutes, which is a bit longer than my normal videos. Oh, Polish Eddie. I'm about to say goodbye because it's really warm here and everybody wants to enjoy the outside. Samantha, I don't eat madras. I don't think so. When we're in an Indian restaurant, I don't eat madras. Yes, I'm almost done. Thanks, Vegas. Thank you ever so much. Oh, and I'm recording a new podcast, a battle podcast, with one huge YouTuber from New Zealand. It can only be one. And Mr. Pulse is coming back. That huge YouTuber is going to defend a team from his own country, McLaren. And Mr. Pulse is going to defend Ferrari. So it's going to be McLaren versus Ferrari. Recording on Tuesday night. And hopefully I'll have it out by Wednesday. I might drop it in as a premiere. So if ever anybody fancies a chat during the premiere of the podcast, you're all welcome. But I don't know the exact date yet. Yes, Polish Eddie, it's Josh Revel. Always the rebel. You're welcome, Inge, and thank you for joining in this heat. Right, everybody, I'm just going to say goodbye. Everybody enjoy the lovely weather, and we'll be back next week with more racing. I love you all. Take care now. Doei doei.